and I
All
do
right,
stay up a lot.
everybody is unmuted. We've hopped on over. Sorry about the late start. We had Nomery afoot. Dinners needed to be made. Bitches need to be acquired. For those of you who don't know, my name is Obsidia. I'm everybody's favorite Death Knight and the DM of this game. Welcome to Eberron, Ashes of the Last War. We're going to be going through our classic setup of our party doing all of their introductions before doing some announcements, a session recap, and hopping right on in. So, first of all, we've got our very own kitty, Paige the Mage.
I play the local cat wizard, and when I'm not, I'm Yulia. I'm Royal Knight VT on both Twitch and Twitter. Play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons with these wonderful people, do a lot of Skyrim, and Final Fantasy's coming out soon, so that'll be taking over my life. But very happy to be here. Thank you.
The critically acclaimed Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy, yeah.
Thank you, Yulia. Next up, we've got Ilya.
Hello. My name is Lily, and I'm playing Ilya here in this lovely campaign. I'm just kind of, chilling, playing D&D, having a good time, thinking of characters, doing all that fun stuff. So I hope you guys all enjoy.
Thank you, Lily. Next up, we've got Euphoria, emphasis on the cocks.
Hello, everyone. I am Maris, and I'm here playing everyone's favorite saucy, hot pink MILF, Euphoria Cox. When I am not a pink tiefling, you can find me over on my channel as a cosmic space dragon entity who likes to tell stories. So we do a lot of book reading, a lot of storytelling. It's just a nice, cozy time. I didn't stream pretty much at all last week because I was a big EP boy, but we'll be back this coming week. So yeah.
We love the EP in this house. Thank you, Maris. And next up, we've got your pal Malral.
Hey, I'm playing Malral today, but when I'm not Malral, I am Lich of the Bronze, also known as the Snot Dragon, breathing snot everywhere because I am feeling the snotty this weekend.
Snotty boy.
Other than that, I also just playing video games casually every now and then and running DM games on other people's channels. So feel free to follow me and then also on Twitter so I can point you in the direction of the people I run games for.
Heck yeah. Thank you, Litro. And then last but never least, we've got Cess.
Hi there. I play the local cat that punches people. Big fancy word for that, I don't know. But it's me, Sif, real ass man, real ass suit of armor. I do art, I play games. That's all it's on my index card. I don't really have a whole lot else to say. I love you guys.
Excellent. Thank you, Sif. All right, so my big announcement is that I am working once again 3 years in a row with the New York Snark Exchange, raising money for Trans Lifeline this Pride Month, so the entire month of June. I just did. If you want to go check out the Tilify, do !charity. It will take you to the Tilify page. Trans Lifeline is a trans suicide prevention and support network who provides crisis assistance for trans people. You know how these days be and why that is needed, as well as some micro loans to help people who are struggling. So in light of the way that the world currently sucks, please feel free to spread the word. And if you're feeling it giving, please feel free to donate. Every little bit counts. We've raised over $506 so far. So hopefully we get a bunch more by the end of the month. You'll love to see it. Thank you. So previously on Eberron, Ashes of the Last War, our plucky group of adventurers continue to deal with the struggles of finding out what the world is truly like about after learning Silonia's dark secrets about the future and the weapons that she created falling into the wrong hands. Paige decided to try and reconnect with her sister as they have been growing increasingly distant over the previous weeks. And this led to them taking a little day out with each other. And with that in mind, they they went to a local bookstore when Paige just so tenderly, so absent-mindedly reached out and touched Cess and was pulled into not quite a time vision of the past, but some kind of weird temporal memory landscape created by Cess's Delkir symbiote, um, who reiterated that Paige is dangerous to Cess and only hurts her, and proceeded to try and reiterate that she should leave Cess alone and stop hurting her. And so they got on a little child's mental depiction of a spaceship and flew around Cess's memories, seeing all of the times that Cess was stood up by Paige and or her friends, all the heartbreak she suffered, before finally going to the one place that the symbiote Spike said repeatedly for her not to go, a black hole which contained a singular shackled door. And at this point, Cess herself appeared and confronted Paige about the fact that Paige wasn't telling her that her professor had seen that she was going to die. And so Cess had also confronted her that, is this what she wanted to go fishing around in Cess's brain? And so she proceeded to open the door that she should never have opened of repressed memories, and got to see the possibly one of the most significant times that her sister had stood her up in her life by making it so that after her father had died, that her mother and her sister went off for an early college interview at Moorgrave University, while Cess was left alone and nobody went to see her poetry reading. And at that point, she basically gave up on being happy in the future, and talked to Paige for a little bit, about, how she's trying her hardest, and Paige telling her how much she loved Cess and thought she was a great being, before they were able to return to reality, and Cess and Paige had a somewhat frosty separation at that point. Later that day, a mysterious, dark-skinned elf arrived on scene with reptilian, crimson eyes, and proceeded to give the party a job offer representing an organization known as the Chamber, who had the best interests of the continent in mind in protecting Eberron as well, and was aware of what dangers the Ashbringers held for the future of the world, and that they wanted to help support the party in stopping them, because they're aware that the horrible abomination that is Silonia is the only person who can truly shut down Project Peacemaker. So they gave a job offer. Malral was a little testy about the prospect of working with Silonia some more, but they all came to the agreement that it was the right course of action and that he'd do his best even though he doesn't like her. And with that, the party started gearing up, as their next quest is to get on a train to the city of Korth, the capital of Karnath, where they are to meet with some dead veterans of the war who potentially have a point of resonance with the Battle of Seven Spears, which will hopefully, inside of the Mournlands, which will hopefully give them a point of resonance to get to the secret magical science facility known as the Last Stand, and once there, be able to shut down whatever means the Ashbringers are using to keep coming back from the dead after they're killed. So with that, the party is got their tickets to leave tomorrow morning and is getting ready to hit the old dusty trail. So right before we hop on in, I just want to do a special shout out to Your Bean Scarth for donating $222.22 to Trans Lifeline. They are MBN proud. Thank you so much, Scarth. I really appreciate it. All right, so everybody, you are in your house getting your final things together. Paige, I believe that there is something that you are going to do that is a shocking turn of events.
Yeah. She's gonna do some shopping before she leaves. And I suppose I could do that while on the train for the other thing.
Yeah, you do that at any point on the train. You have a
Okay.
scroll with you, so
I do. I have several scrolls now in my possession. Not skulls, scrolls. Yes.
So I would
she's packing some
Sorry,
goodies.
Paige.
Nope. What were you gonna say?
I was saying I would like to point out that we should have a special round of applause for Yulia, who after 41 sessions of this campaign has finally spent some of the gold she's earned over the course of this game to buy better gear.
It's character, baby.
Let's fucking go.
Claps in
Sure
the
it
chat.
is. Sure it
Cheers
is.
in the chat.
Oh God.
But yeah, anybody else wish to do any final preparations?
Do we all have potions? Just last check. You guys do remember that we need healthcare, right? Right.
I am the healthcare.
I have 2 potions, thank you.
I upgraded my swords in lieu of potions, so you know.
I at least have one.
We're good.
We're fine. We'll be good.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Cess noting.
Just don't get hit. It's a skill issue.
Are you getting potions, or are you just depending on people getting potions?
I always don't talk to me like that. I've had 2 in every single combat encounter since day 1. Don't you dare accuse me of not having them.
No, we know the real
They usually
reason.
go down first, so.
Oh shit!
The cats are going off already.
You know that time we were fighting in the sky and I used a healing potion on you instead of punching somebody? I want you to remember that next time I go down.
And I thought the sisters were going to get along more, but no, we're just going to go back to cat fights.
It's like the Aristocats, like the little kittens, like puffed up. Like,
Yep. See, fucking Yulia fucked around in Cess's mind and is now just full of bad bitch energy.
We love
Taking it
that.
from me.
it's getting so
Larissa,
sad.
She's just taking it, just stole all your bad bitch energy so you don't have any.
Like a thief in the night. Alright, yes. If everybody has got their potions, anything else? Okay then.
Good, DM.
So there will be a brief caveat the night before for Paige as a way that she is acquiring one of her items that we talked about earlier. So, Paige, as you're in your room, getting everything together for the night, you were looking in, the mirror you might have on a dresser or something. And as you look at it, you see that there is a reflection of you in a different room on the other side of the mirror. And the page that is over on that other side is surrounded by books as far as the eye can see. And she looks to be older and more mature. And she looks back at you. And she looks down at your spellbook as she walks forward with her own. What do you do?
Oh. She's definitely going to watch. A little confused at first, but the more she looks at this page, the more a sense of familiarity she feels. So she's going to kind of look down at her book for a second and look back up at the other page. We look great.
The other page kind of smiles a bit bashfully as, she kind of pushes back some of her, one of her braids. And she goes, I forgot how cute I was.
Thank you. It's a lot of extensive research over there. I'm trying to get stronger too, and I would like some help in doing so.
Things are going to be very difficult, but trust me, you can do it, and I believe in you.
Thank you. I guess it's weird coming from myself, but I guess you have to trust yourself first before anyone else.
Ultimately, we're the only ones who can ever make ourselves stronger, and they're going to need you far more than you're going to need them, unfortunately.
I'm gonna make them proud of me. Do you mind if I use some material?
Yes. I feel like there's something that I can at least help shed some light in the coming days. Maybe you'll be able to fix it. I know I couldn't.
I'll try my best.
And she will push the book that she has in her hands against the mirror, and it will phase through it and land on the desk in front of you.
Be hesitant at first to touch it, but she'll like place her fingertips against it to see if like it actually has some tension against her hand when she pushes down on it.
Yep, it is a solid corporeal object. It appears to be a very ornate and tenderly handcrafted, but also it's almost as if you would, when you made that ribbon for Silonia, it's like, that was merely a stepping stone for a greater ability to, weave and create designs, because it appears to have all been done by you. You can see the elements of the way that you consider things shining through it.
Beautiful. She'll pick it up and kind of sift through it a little bit. Thank you. I'm really gonna do my best. I'm gonna make it work.
She nods and does a little bit of a pained smile and goes, be sure to. I know it's difficult right now, but be sure to love Cess. It's always hard when they're gone.
Her ears kind of fall back at that a little bit. It is hard. Yeah, it'll work out. It'll be fine. She's still here and she's still my sister. Thank you. Anything else I need to know?
I hope that you can figure the way to correct it. None of us have ever been able to. I'll be cheering for you.
Appreciate that. She'll kind of put her hand up against the mirror and kind of smile a little bit.
And the other page will do the same and give you one last smile before the reflection just is back to yourself, looking at your own room.
Right, Paige. You got a lot of people looking at you. Let's do this right. And she'll probably spend the rest of the night looking at the book.
Okay.
Making sure she attunes to it.
Excellent. And with that, you guys will go to sleep and wake up the next day. All of your gear getting ready. And unless you wish to do otherwise, you will all meet at the train station and get aboard the lightning rail. Now, it is about a week-long train ride because you are going across the continent and around the Mournlands to get to Korth and Karnath. And so you have plenty of time aboard the train. Does anybody wish to do anything specific before they arrive in Karnath?
For those of us on the train, it's the party and Savannah, right? Just to be
Yeah,
clear.
yeah, yeah. For like the relevant people, it's you guys.
Yeah, okay. I was just wondering if our
No, the other companions
client,
aren't with you.
oh, not the companions, the client was
Oh
escorting us
no,
on the train, or
the uh Sharnakoria is not going to be going with you guys.
got it. All right.
Um, Ilya would like to talk to Cess for a bit.
Okay.
All right.
So I imagine we all probably have separate cars for the most part.
Separate cards, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So Ilya would just kind of standard go up, knock on Cess's door to see if she's there.
All right. You can come in. I leave that pretty much unlocked for room service.
Ilya will just slide the door open and just say, "Well, I apologize that I'm not bringing room service to you,
Ah, you're
but
good. So
I hope
cut.
just being myself is enough." Shut
Plenty.
shuts the door behind her.
Come on in, come on in. Don't mind Spike. He is eating a whole turkey they brought him.
You know I'm from the Feywild. Things like this don't exactly spook me in any way, shape, or form.
It's more the gross factor. Yeah, it's more the gross because they're just going on it like chewing through the bone and gristle everywhere. They're doing their best. Anyways, Ilya, how can I help you? Everything all right?
She just walks in and kind of how close she's gonna try and sit down pretty much next to Cess, but does Spike push her away?
I would say no.
No,
Obs?
no. Spike is
Okay.
just eating his turkey. Mind his own business.
Okay. Um and she'll just sit down and be quiet for a few seconds before just looking over and say, "You seem awfully at peace with your fate. Am I incorrect in saying this?"
It's yeah, no, you're right. Um, this whole time I've been really struggling with the whole what's gonna happen next. I mean, like every time we go out there, we fight, I go down, and usually that means we won, but I'm also like concerned about whether or not I'll wake up again. Uh, and that's always sort of been on my mind. Um, Pretty recently, Larissa took me out and basically gave me the whole YOLO. Oh, if you don't know YOLO, it means you only live once. But she gave me that whole like speech about making the most out of this life, and while I'm afraid that I might not be able to, it just feels strange just knowing that whatever's going to happen is guaranteed going to happen soon. I feel like nowadays every morning isn't like I'm opening a door like cautiously. It feels like let's see how many doors we got left. Yeah.
Doesn't exactly sound very confident when you say it like that, but I believe, at least in some ways, that I can feel familiar enough with the sentiment. After all, I didn't exactly have very many thoughts for my own safety, my own life, for a long time. Obviously, that has changed now, but I just I know that you seem so at peace, but I just very simply, as offensive as this may seem to even insinuate this, you should still do your best to make it to the end for everyone.
Worry, I'm not gonna like jump in a vat of acid or something.
No, 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 no. I mean, when you think the time comes, don't go quietly into that darkness.
Ilya. have you looked at me? And like at this point, like Spike gets up covered in gristle and like sort of like signaled like hops on to try to form like drip. I am anything but quiet. And don't worry, I don't want to leave with too many regrets, and I don't want to break Paige's heart any more than I already have.
What do you regret now, son?
Hmm. I would have really liked seeing more of the world. Um, the speaker? I definitely want to have her try food that isn't prepped inside a kitchen, that's neat. I want to see Lady Ray not be a sourpuss for once. She's getting pretty close. I'm warming her up, but I don't know, just things. I would have loved to see my sister grow up to be the person she was always meant to be. Cleo Trixia too. Everyone pretty much. Maybe see Euphoria succeed, do the impossible, get her daughter back.
Hmm.
But
So you wish for a lot.
yeah. But sometimes we don't get what we want. Sometimes we have to use what we have and make the most of it. And if I've only got a day or a couple of months, I'll do what I can with it. I've got time I don't need, but I know everyone else needs plenty, so I don't mind using it on them.
Is there any way in your mind that you can see forward where death does not come in the next few days, but in 80 years?
That's a very specific amount of time you've requested.
I don't know exactly how old your shadows live, and I certainly don't know exactly how old I'm going to be living. It's a bit of a gray area for us Fae.
God, it's gonna be. If I do live, it's gonna be so weird being in like a rocking chair next to you, still looking the exact same.
I've never experienced it before, but I can't say I'm exactly looking forward to the idea of being
Oh, it's gonna
eternally
be.
young while everybody else near me.
We were like shopping, and someone's gonna call me like your mom or something. Don't worry, don't worry, Ilya. If there is a way, I'm sure it'll work out. But I'm not too obsessed with finding a way to live, as hurtful as I know that is to say. But if there was a way that I could live, it would be probably after everything here is done. After we deal with this weapon, after we make sure Sylvana's problem is taken care of and everyone else is all set up, then, like, I'm not even just talking about the weapon, like, Kaishen, he, I don't know if he told you or Euphoria this, or Malral even, I feel like he would confide this in you guys, so I'm gonna tell you. He wants to avenge the death of his family. So, when we help him do that, great, he's taken care of. And I know Asharn still has something eating away at them. And Lily, well, she can't be a maid forever. I'm gonna be real. She works way too hard. Her resume is way too long. So on and so forth. If all of that is taken care of, and I don't need to go out adventuring anymore, then that would be it. But as it is right now, I'm gonna have to keep going.
I understand. It would be hypocritical of me to tell you that you shouldn't live for the benefit of others. After all, that is what I've chosen to do with my life. So
It's okay to be oh, go ahead.
I just want you to know that when I mean the happiness of others and seeing them through, that will never stop, including you, to the bitter end.
You see her eyes water a little, and then she's sitting crisscross applesauce on the bed and just like leans up against your shoulder. I know, Ilya, and that means a lot. You know what would make me really happy though?
What could I do for you?
You could be a little selfish too. I know you've been eyeing a certain party member and been wanting to spend more time with them for more than just fake court stuff.
I'm sorry. But no, that's not something that That's not something that's going to be happening. We have.
Well, if you say so, Ilya, but I do happen to know this person does prefer the cold, so
You can't keep saying these things.
I will
You-
as long as it continues to tease you to.
Can I be a young girl again for a moment? Maybe this is what we will end on, but I just wanted to say.
Ilya, we're always young girls.
There was a moment when we went to my home where Euphoria was talking about how she would help teach the kids that I would be teaching after all this is over. And it got me thinking. Got me thinking a little bit about the prospects of, well, I guess, spending eternity with someone like her. And it would never happen. There's far too much on her plate, but no. It's not that.
Ooh.
It's not that.
It's okay. It's okay. We're both young girls here.
I
can change your nails.
misinterpreted the situation, apparently, but it crossed my mind for a second, and it made me feel ecstatic. And
Listen, girl, did you tell her this idea?
No, I did not tell her this
Did
idea.
she say no to this prospect?
She said she would visit every once in a while, but that's what she meant by it, from what she told me.
Well, there was this one flower girl, this florist back in town, and I told her I'd only visit her like once a week, and then became once a day, and then, well, you're a smart girl. You can imagine what.
Do you realize how long it has been since someone has girled me? I'm 100 years old.
We are young girls always. Now come on. I'm gonna like braid up your hair and touch up your nails before you go out there in case Euphoria is walking by. I mean, not that you'd want to impress her or anything. I turn around already.
You are simply incorrigible about this. I could never say no to a good coat of nail polish, so if you've got some on you, I'd gladly have a.
Yeah, don't worry. I got some blues and greens. I mainly had to get them out because Larissa kept thinking they were fruit gushers.
That's not quite right. I hope she did not eat any of them.
I hope so too, but don't worry. I'll paint your nails real quick, and then paints them like this layer of dark blue with like a green gradient leading up to the tip of the nails, and then little white snowflakes.
You're extraordinarily good at this. Where did you learn?
So one of the little aunties back in our community ran a salon, and that shit's expensive. So she let me work part-time in exchange to learn. So
Ilya will stand up and kind of just take a look at them and just say, you know, one of the best parts about not swinging around something heavy during combat? These babies will last.
you're telling me she looks at her own nails that like she's had to compromise on because she fucking punches people?
Hey, whenever we come back from this quest, I'll do your nails too.
I'll hold you to that.
Gladly. She'll walk out of the room.
Please tell me you saunter past Euphoria's open door. You have the Tagas.
Slow burn.
Slow.
The eternal slow burn. Is there anybody else that wishes to do anything before Paige does her super secret ritual?
I'm still debating if I want to do a talk with Malral. I don't want to like drag things on any further than like we've already been though, and I just talked.
Okay.
I just wanted general opinions of the room. I'll hold off on it for now. Then still, my bad.
No, you can go talk. Go talk.
Which are you cool if I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
All right, I'm gonna go knock on Malral's door now.
Malral.
I'm knocking. I'll bang on this fucking door. I don't care how fancy it is.
Sorry, I was blowing my nose.
You're good.
He'll come over and open it up.
Oh, sus. What do I owe the pleasure?
So they're having an all-you-can-eat down in the banquet hall, and I need help stacking up plates. You want to come with?
Sure. That sounds like a thing to waste some time.
Mm-hmm. And I'd imagine they can find a nice table after getting comedically large stacks of food from around the from around the entire cart.
Nothing but bread. Oh, bread is so good. Don't you know you can eat it all day?
Bread makes you fat.
Bread makes you fat!
Yeah, buddy. At least settle for the garlic ones. Don't just get regular bread. Ah, come on. They sit at a table, and like Spike's going to town on food, and well attached to Says, so she doesn't have to eat and talk at the same time. So, buddy, I wanted to ask, you were at Cryo and Cleotrixia's, right?
That's right.
Have you just been babysitting, like, Cleotrixia and stuff, or have you been, like, taking care of the kids in the neighborhood in general?
Mostly just Cleo. I've been teaching her a few things here and there, too.
Yeah, I know, the craftsmanship, or the you getting dolled up, because Euphoria did mention that you were a little dolled up.
That was more for her entertainment than anything. She wanted to practice, and I couldn't say no. It made her happy.
I know you've helped me and one other person who I will not mention with crafting before, so if you wanted me to, like, teach you makeup stuff, I mean, plenty of dads know how to braid hair, so if you wanted, I could teach you how to braid hair for Cleotrixia.
I appreciate the offer. However, I think I'll stick with just being the practice dummy for now.
Okay. It'll be on the table whenever you want it, as long as I'm around. You smile a lot when you talk about her. Not even just her, just like the kids in general. Like back when I invited you and the others to play Hazak on them, you just seem so happy.
They're the next generation.
I mean, it's
They
not.
deserve to be well off, don't you think?
Of course.
He went through shit. A lot of shit.
I
And now the world's on the mend, and just want to make sure they have a better place.
Kids deserve the best that we can offer, and I get that. But like again, I'm talking about you being happy. Listen, I know you smile when you craft, and I know a part of you does get a little ecstatic when it comes to pounding someone in the face, right? But I just wanted to... I know I talked about it before, right? With everyone saying that when we're done with this, at a certain point, we need to be done with adventuring, because this isn't going to pay forever, but I've been, like, just thinking that I know you've got this rage inside of you, from one rageful person to another. I know you have a lot to deal with. Kai Shen can relate to you a lot on that, but you just seem so much happier when you're taking care of something, protecting something, versus being wrathful and striking others. I just... thinking out loud here, and if it's a problem. When I go away, do you want to be like the new neighborhood organizer for those kids? For like the park and being around the Silver Flame Church and stuff?
Well, you're younger than me.
Malral, come on. Even you said that I should die a good death. You know deep down that something might happen. Something will happen.
Same thing might happen to me. We don't know.
You're right. That's fair. I get the feeling that if my sister were to have time visions about my death, hopefully it would be about everyone else. She seems to care about everyone, and I don't think she'd ever let anything else happen to any of us.
But the point I was trying to make before is that death happens. It's a natural part of life.
Yeah.
We can
and-
prepare for it, but we can never predict it. So we might as well live how we want. How our lives are the best as they are. You know? You don't want to waste it. You want to make the most of it.
Trust me, you and Larissa both hammer that point very clearly into my head. Like I'm talking about massive nail sticking out of my head that's still being hammered in. Don't worry.
Well, I got a big hammer.
You do. I've seen you craft and I've seen you smash with it. It's just when you do, hopefully if you do decide to hang up the arms of war. I don't know what got you into being a soldier or how you were raised and stuff, but you seem so much more keen to be at peace taking care of other people and those kids. I don't think you were, and don't take this as an insult because you are definitely a threat on the battlefield, but I don't think you were meant to be a destroyer. I legitimately think you are just supposed to be a good dad.
I appreciate that. But honestly, I can't ever see myself hanging up my hammer.
The crafting one or the battling one?
They're both one and the same.
Listen, my dad did everything to make sure my sister and I had a good life growing up, and he was striving every day to grind out those paychecks and those commendations to be promoted to a workshop manager to afford us a better life. But the thing is, because of that, we barely got to see him. I'm just saying, this is just something for you to consider. I'm not forcing you to do anything, but I know Cleotrixia and any other kid that got lucky enough to get taken care of by you would just like having you around more versus you going out there protecting them. You can still protect them at home. Just a thought.
A thought indeed. One I'll need to ponder. But all my life there has always just been the next mission. It would be hard to change that, even after this band here disbands. I was in a band before this one, and one before that. I can't imagine me simply not going to another one.
Well, if you ever decide that you get tired of that work cycle, then myself, Lady Ray, Aishen, even Ilya deals with the whole orphanage, we'd all be willing to help you. Okay?
I appreciate that. And like I said, I will ponder it. It would just be a large change. And I don't really see myself doing that just yet.
That's fine. It's not an easy transition for people like us, but it's worth considering, okay? Now, as hard as Spike is trying, we have barely made a dent in this food, so come on.
He takes half the bread off of his plate, puts it to the side, and eats only half of it because he doesn't want to get too fat.
Yeah, you can ration that worst case later, so.
Spike extends out a tendril and grabs the bread and consumes it.
Your jacket's gonna get fat.
I have not had to worry about carbs or fats the whole time I had this thing. This thing is a diet cheat.
But yeah, so you continue snacking in peace. And then the last thing before you guys get to Korth will be Paige. Paige, you wanted to do something to rectify a gift that was given long ago.
Yes, yes. So likely, she's been going through a lot of the stuff that she's gathered through this long, arduous quest, and she will stumble upon one of the scrolls that was given to her. Kind of look at it like, oh, that's right. I did get this. I almost completely forgot. And it is her Find Familiar scroll. So she's going to take some time and try to conjure up a familiar. And when she does so, she is going to conjure up a small, little, slightly plump rat. And it's like a little fuzzy, chunky type deal. Got, tiny little glasses like she has around its like itty bitty little nose. And she has successfully conjured up Index, which she will name her little new rat friend. Kind of study it for a moment as it like tilts a little bit, kind of looks at her. She'll poke its nose a little bit, be like, I know it's a little unorthodox, but I thought this was the best companion for me. I hope we can be friends. It's nice to meet you.
Index, which is is it a he or a she or
a
them?
We'll go with she. Yeah, we'll go with she. Yeah.
She twitches her little nose and nuzzles against your hand, puts her two front paws over the like on one of your fingers. And looks up at you with big sparkling green eyes.
Oh, really cute. Yes, really excited. When we'll meet with the others soon. It's getting pretty late, so in the morning I'll introduce you to everyone. I hope you're not shy.
And gonna skitter up your arm and kind of nuzzle into a pocket of your uniform. Just its little head poking out and its two little paws.
I think we'll work really well together.
He looks up at you, gives you a big rodent smile.
Do a little one finger scritchy on the top of the head.
Oh, squeak. Alright.
There we go. Now I have one.
Now you have a familiar. You got a
You
little
gonna-
index.
You gonna introduce him, or are we all gonna freak out when we see rat?
It's a certain magical index.
Oh my god, kill it! Oh, you
Yes,
summoned her, right?
yeah, like I said, the next morning she will, probably when they meet up for breakfast or something, she is going to, be like, everyone, I wanted to introduce you to a new friend that I have.
Out.
If,
Out of her pocket, you see a little rat with glasses poke out, and it waves a little paw at you guys.
Oh, good lord, there's vermin on the train.
no, it's...
This is why I don't travel on trains.
No, it's not. It's magical. So
Magical vermin. Great.
no.
Better. Let's get rid of it quickly. Get it. Someone
You've
get a
already
broom
had-
or a
It tucks
box
back
or-
into her pocket and says it squeaks.
Starts to conjure up a wall of fire.
No.
Hold on a second. No, wait, guys. I made it. I made it with my magic. It's a familiar. Her name is Index. Please, she will only come back if you try to kill her. Which I don't advise.
Oh.
And she is the most darling, cutest little thing I've seen in a long time. Did she come with the glasses?
Little flare, but yes.
Glasses are certainly something that I have an appreciation for, so
Well, I did have a little
magnificent
bit of
choice.
I did have a little bit of inspiration. She'll kind of smile a little sheepily, but kind of poke her finger in and like, it's okay, Index. You can come on and say hi.
She nervously pokes her nose back out of the pocket.
Across the table, Says is just staring at Paige with the smuggest face imaginable. Like that episode of SpongeBob where he's like, "Oh, you like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward? Oh, you got a pet too, huh, sis?"
Well,
Says, okay.
charmed, I'm sure.
Says
What
puts a
does
small.
it do?
I mean, things that I wanted to do. If we need, a little scout or something to go on ahead of us, or just not too much, but it'll be helpful, I'm sure.
At the very least, a pet can be such pleasant company, and that is worth everything in the world.
Does it need to eat?
It's Fae, technically. But I guess it wouldn't hurt.
Says puts a platter of cheese on the table, and I'm assuming Index is gonna hobble over to it. I didn't say anything. Spike, on the other hand, I imagine like Spike, like a curious dog, is like trying to slowly get close to sniff the creature.
Yeah, he'll take a little bit of it.
Ilya's just looking at it with just like the most like goo goo doll eyes, so enamored by how cute this rat is.
You're definitely the kind of mom to like dress up the rat in a little like sailor boy outfit for photos or sailor girl outfit.
I would absolutely dress this rat up in a sailor girl outfit.
You said it was magic?
Yes, it is. A magic friend. Mm-hmm.
What's magical about it?
Well, the fact that I conjured it from a scroll, and it comes back if I summon it and can, make it come and go as I please.
Oh, so you said earlier it could scout ahead.
Mhm.
So if it was scouting ahead, landed on a trap, and
He makes a explosion motion with his hand.
you could just call it back?
Yes, technically I could. That's worst case scenario.
Index looks very nervously up at Paige.
But we'll definitely try to avoid that, won't we?
It's at this point that I inform you that there is a rule that I play with that if your familiar is not used in combat, it will not get killed by me or AoE effects or anything.
Let's
It
go.
It's
it is the
One
emotions.
fireball later.
Yeah, it's only if you choose to use it for some purpose in combat that I will make it as killable as any other thing on the board.
Gotcha.
Do not cast Dragon's Breath on it.
No, please.
Think
A
of all the touch
pocket
spells
rat
you can.
flamethrower.
Just think of all the touch spells you can do with it. Just pickpocket it into an enemy's pocket, move away, and then just shocking grasp it with having no idea what's happening to it.
Oh,
It's
right.
just become her second pet. Just
So
Giving bad ideas for rat, electric rat, boogaloo.
Or little Index. been in this world for like 10 minutes and already is being conceived of how to sacrifice them for combat advantage.
But
But yeah,
Welcome to the team, Index. Here's some bread. It'll make you fatter.
the rat kind of cocks its head at you, confused. Squeak!
well, like I said, she doesn't really need to eat, but I'm sure it's fine.
It can have a little cheese. You should keep like a small little pack of like snacks in there just in case, though. Like, Spike gets a little hungry from the time and says, out of the hammer space that is the goo jacket, pulls out a whole ass turkey for Spike to chew on.
Ooh.
You see a bunch of pseudopods from Sess's jacket extend out and begin tearing the turkey into various pieces and starting to dissolve it inside of the black mass.
I got like 2 or 3 of those left in here. I gotta restock soon.
I see. Well, thank you for the slightly warm welcome for the familiar. I'm sure we'll be fine though.
All right. And with that, you guys will, as you're cruising about halfway through your trip, there will be a series of lights that go off throughout the train, and you see that like shutters begin to fall over the various windows, and you hear over the comms a voice say, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to be passing by the Mourn Wall. For your safety and comfort, we have chosen to drop the shutters over your windows. We will be able to lift them once more once we are safely away from the wall, but please be advised, it is strongly discouraged from removing the shutter and gazing directly at the wall. It has been known to cause incredible senses of unease amongst our passengers, so we just think it's better to avoid it. So this should only be for about, a few hours. So make sure you enjoy your time, and thank you for riding on a House Orion lightning rail. And the speaker goes off.
Mm.
Never been to the Mournlands or what was here.
No. Sounds really serious. Curiosity though, huh?
Malral is silent.
Silonia kind of chimes in and goes, it's nothing to really be excited about. It's a horrible place to look upon.
Simply a place where once was beautiful. Now just a hush.
Sight all too familiar to too many of us. I hope one day that they can reclaim it. Truly would be a noble goal.
What is there is no more than ruins and ash.
You know, I thought the same about my home too.
You'll see.
I suppose I shall.
All right. The real question is, does anybody want to lift up their shutter and look at the wall?
Does anybody want rad poisoning?
Look, well, first off, it's mental damage. So, Larissa ain't here, so in honor of her dumbass, I might take a peek.
No!
Just a little peek, guys. It's just a little bit.
You're not dying to radiation exposure.
It's not radiation. You think a window shutter would keep out radiation?
We use 1950s fucking bomb etiquette here. You duck under a desk.
That's right, duck and cover.
I'm gonna flip a coin. If it's tails, I'm taking a look.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
no.
I might like peek with you if you do.
Tails.
Oh, guys!
Are the cats gonna? Is
Sisters are
curiosity going to kill the cats? Let's go. All right.
Right?
So-
After I say, you're not going to do anything stupid, right, Sess?
So
Man,
the-
this window is so funky.
So the two cats are gonna look through the window. Does anyone else wish to?
Hell no.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay.
Advised. I didn't say you didn't have. Like, you could still kind of do it.
There's definitely like 2 or 3 other noble people on this card. It's like I'm built different. I'm rich. I'll take a look. You know, it's a warning, not a prevention. So
I don't know. Rich people are pretty good at ignoring misery, so.
we'll be fine. We have a house that makes us rich, right?
Yeah, so if you look in Roll20, there's the picture of what the Mourn Wall looks like.
Oh, I hate it.
Hate
But
that.
yeah, so Sess and Paige, as you push up the shutter,
Oh God.
you see this massive just pillar of smoke that goes seemingly infinitely into the sky. That stretches on for miles and miles, and you constantly see screeching, crying, furious faces appear in the smoke and disappear again. And as you look at it, the longer you look at it, the more you feel like you can hear those cries of thousands and thousands of people in their last moments of whatever happened to them, and the amount of pain, confusion, and misery begins to saturate into your bodies. And the wall seems to get bigger and bigger the longer you stare at it, as if you were too becoming a part of the wall. Please make wisdom saves.
Oh, okay.
10.
Oh, 20. Not 20. Let's go.
Nat 20. Paige is like, I've seen worse in my friends' heads. But yeah, Sess, you also seem to have a bit of screening towards this, as you feel Spike reassuringly kind of grip your head, and you guys are in turn able to close the shutters once more. But yeah, that was the Mourn Wall. Everybody else briefly hears just like this soft, like moaning cry that's like almost barely perceptible while the shutters are open, the cat's looking through them. And then as soon as the shutters close again, it stops.
Gosh. Okay. Well, at least we could say we saw it. Are you okay, Sess?
I can see why they didn't put that in the textbooks back in school. That's a little chilling.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Goodness, you didn't look outside, did you?
I did. Just me, not her. Be mad at me.
Oh, please, Sess.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to defend me. I looked as well. But only to really see we came all this way and we had to be able to witness it.
Do you guys think we're gonna have to go in that at some point? That's deep in, and that's where the weapon and the Ashbringers are, yeah?
From what it was described, sounds like at least partially we'll be in some Mournlands.
Yes, we would have to go in there to get to Seven Spears, and then presumably the facility is also located in Seer itself, so all of that would be inside of the Mournlands.
Just preparation at that point. We'll be careful the next time, definitely. Especially if we're going in there.
Going in there together. We always face these things together.
Of course, yes.
All
She
right.
dares not look out the window again.
I figured as much. Yeah, after about 5 hours, the shutters go back up, and you return to the rolling countryside.
That is a long time. Oh my gosh.
It's if you look at the map of Eberron, it is the entire kingdom of Seer is surrounded by that. So that is a large, geopolitical entity that was consumed by this energy.
Not fun.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Malral has been so depressed.
Womp womp. And yeah. The rest of the trip goes by uneventfully. As you get closer to the city of Korth itself, you do see, like, on the outskirts of the city, like, this whole landscape is kind of bleak and subdued looking. Like, there's not much life to it. And you don't see very many kind of, like, people out and about in, like, the fields or small towns that you ride by. But as you get to the city itself, the most noticeable thing about it is the massive walls that surround it. And they appear to be multiple layered walls surrounding it. And as you're going by, you can see that there are breaches in some of the walls. And there appears to be broken siege equipment outside of these walls that has, partially been grown over, broken down, etc. As there are placards that you can see that talk about, when this wall was besieged by, for instance, Thrain, and their failure to be able to take the city. You'll see another sign that deeper is like the next wall, where it's like, when this wall was breached by Daur, and they still failed to breach our city, thanks to the glorious defense of our brave men and women in uniform. And it's just, you see this, like, up until you get to the final wall of the city. There appear to have been breach siege attempts that have all failed, and they have been converted into war memorials by the Karnathi government. To show the resoluteness of its people. And as the train, slowly stops into the station in the city, a group of Karnathi soldiers will board the train and basically check everybody's tickets and stuff, kind of give a brief, like, what's your reason for visiting the city? What's your reason for Karnath? And so they will eventually come to you in turn. There is a what's it called? There's a Kenku in a Karnathi uniform who's leading a group of other soldiers who kind of walks up to you guys and extends out his hand and goes, "Tickets, please."
And then the tickets that we rode in on?
Yeah, here you go.
Okay. He kind of brusquely takes them out of your hands, looks them over, looks at you guys over. Since you are first class tickets for this, he's being more respectful. And he goes, "Reason for being in Karnath?"
Contract work?
"Reason for visiting the city?"
We're meeting the clients here, yeah? Looks back at the party.
We heard there was a good deli in town.
Among other reasons.
He, in his crow-like way, kind of cocks his head to the side as he looks at Malral and squints his eyes. "No reason to be funny, big boy."
It's all the bread, damn it!
But he will hand you back your tickets and be like, "Welcome to Korth. Don't make any trouble." And he turns around and waddles away with his guards to go further down the train.
Well, now we'll have to go find a deli.
I mean, they're not going to hold us to that, right? Like that. I have heard things from some of my other tinfoil hat friends about this place, but I mean, they're not that like observant, right?
Never been to a deli.
Honestly, I could go for some cheddar jack.
You guys were in Sean and you didn't get to go to a deli?
Why would I go to a deli? You know what I ate.
We were too busy going to Duck World.
Next time we are there, you are trying a bacon, egg, and cheese.
There are no delis in Duck World.
No, they only have bread. Only bakeries. So you can feed it to the ducks.
Oh, hence all the garlic bread.
But it's so bad for ducks. You gotta give them peas.
Yeah,
It's alright, they have replacement ducks.
Oh god, that is a capitalist hellscape. We have
That got so
replacement
much
ducks.
worse, but what the fuck?
God damn.
Five Nights at Freddy's ducks.
But yeah, as you guys get off the train, you're confronted with just how brutalist this city really is. Every building appears to be fortified and designed to have like winding pathways between them for maximum defensibility. And everything is this very like drab, like plain stone, plain woodwork, with the only real coloring and life being from the thousands of recruiting posters, Karnathi flags, and various, like why we fight, advertisements just like slapped on everything. And the people in turn appear to be dressed very drably and going about their days, where for a city this big, there's not nearly enough of them moving about openly, and they all look at you guys very skeptically, and you see squads of soldiers always on patrol. And welcome to Korth. What do you do?
Did they tell us we were gonna meet them, or?
No, you guys have to find somebody. They told you to come to the city as it's probably the best place to find somebody who was at the Battle of Seven Spears who's still alive, i.e. or undead. And you guys do know that the ladies Lever, who run the Karnathi Eternal Veterans Association, are based in this city, who Malral at least knows in passing from the airship.
They didn't happen to tell me, like, an affiliation of, like, a building we might be able to go to and find them, did they?
you did know that they did run the Karnath Eternal Veterans Association, so you probably, ask around for that.
Well, there we go.
Well,
So,
Guess we can just pick a person and see.
Perhaps a guard rather than just a normal person.
Hey, you, man with the hat.
Ah,
You
this
see,
is his territory. Let him take the lead on this.
fair enough.
the guy turns around and, you look at him closer. He's kind of hunched over, and his face is very, sunken, and he's holding, a very large spear for his body, and he's got these enormous, claws, and he appears to be aghast. Not like he's aghast. No, he is aghast. And he looks up and goes, what do you want?
Looking good, buddy. I like your polearm there, but I have a question for you if you don't mind me helping with directions.
Kind of leans against his spear and kind of looks up at you. Goes, what do you want, big fella?
I'm looking for this place here. Can you show me the right direction?
You want to go talk to some real veterans. I can imagine people like you from, the other kingdoms and everything wanting to see what a real soldier looks like.
Yep, trace some old war stories. Can you point me in the right direction? I'd like to show my friend the Veterans Hall and whatnot.
Yeah, well, I guess pleasure to meet you guys. And he has his very large, kind of talon-like claw that he extends out to shake hands.
Charmed.
Yes, nice to meet you. Your name, I'm sorry?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't say anything. I'm Staff Sergeant Breckenridge. Happy to meet you. You got some real lookers here. Give my wife a run for her money.
I'll try not to tell her.
You know what? I'll tell you this. You've been married long enough. They always know.
Euphoria nods.
Maybe wrap that tongue up back in your mouth and stop all the drooling, huh?
Sorry, I see fresh meat and I can't help myself.
It doesn't help that some of us are cooked.
I'm pretty sure you got a pretty raw personality.
Oh, goodness.
I like this place.
Alright, follow me. And he gestures, he kind of waves at you all with his claw.
Do you think that Malral has a sixth sense for this or something? He just pointed to a random person. They happen to be a staff sergeant.
I mean, game recognizes game. He was in the military, so he would recognize military, right?
I'm more impressed he found someone with his exact sense of humor.
That's what I was thinking.
Everyone in town has just the same sense of humor.
Everyone tells puns.
Well,
It's all the rage on the scry tubes.
after you die the first time, you kind of lose your inhibitions when it comes to having a particular sense of humor. So I try to not let it keep me down.
Oh goodness, I'm so sorry that you experienced such pain.
Kind of shrugs and he goes, "Oh, you know what they say. What's one life in the name of Karnath? I'm just happy I got to pick up my final tour duty, and it's been pretty good for me. This allows me to keep on staying busy. They pay the pension for my wife and kids. It's all good."
I'm surprised you're not dead tired.
Well, you know
Nothing to
me,
do
my
with
feet
that
are
one.
dragging.
Oh my god!
Illy just looks at the rest of the party just with this dumbfounded expression of just like, where are we?
You guys got a snort laugh out of me. I hate it here.
Welcome to hell.
And he will continue to shamble along. As you guys are moving through the winding streets and stuff, he waves to various people and soldiers passing by, and when he's with you guys, everybody seems to, they look at you less skeptically, and they all seem to be pretty friendly with Breckenridge. When you go to a bigger, wider parade thoroughfare in like Main Street, basically, you do see the large, imposing castle of the king, as well as a massive cathedral that is made of stonework bones and has placards with just tens of thousands of names written on them all around the building. Any blood of bowlers here?
Say that again?
Any of you blood of bowlers here?
What does that mean?
I don't believe so.
Not everybody has, seen the light, so to speak, I guess. It's a faith that became really popular during the war here. All about everybody could be their own god, essentially. You just have to dedicate yourself to being the best you can be. And why let one life get in the way of that? If you get my drift here. So they were big at helping us, win the war, and so that's why we sit in this amazing free kingdom we have these days.
Actually, are you saying you're your own god then?
Oh, I like to think pretty highly of myself, but I have yet to give anybody miracles, unless you talk to my wife.
Damn it.
At least somebody's saying, oh God. But
She
no.
sure sounds like a lucky lady.
Well, I would have to say, a relationship these days, I'm more the dead fish, but, you gotta do what you gotta do for your family.
It will say I work miracles with my blacksmithing, but I don't think any gods are involved in that.
Yeah, I'm not super privy to, the ins and outs of the theological discourse and metaphysics and stuff. I just know they're pretty good guys. Anybody who believes that you should be the best you, pretty good. And, they help all of us vets, doing our last tour of duty. So they're pretty good. The high priest is a decent guy. He's a friendly mummy if you ever want to go get some blessings. But I don't know how much you're here for the tourist business.
Do you know the priest's name?
Oh, gosh, High Priest Coruscander, I believe.
Coruscander, okay.
Yeah, he was a chaplain during the war, but after his last tour of duty, he decided to take on a more rear line support, and eventually after they needed somebody to take over, the day-to-day ministrations, if you catch my drift. He decided to set up shop at the cathedral.
Ilya, who hasn't been paying attention for a bit, just thinking about how weird this place is, just kind of has a second. There's a light bulb goes off, and they elbow Malral, and they say, before speaking to this man, saying, "You better make sure to take care of your wife before you work yourself to death."
Oh, that's a good one.
No.
Each one just looks more and more dead with each one. It's gonna turn into a member of the city at this point, just a complete skeleton.
He shrugs and goes, you know what they say,
Malral
these puns will be the death of me.
Malral just looking very confused on at Lilia and just
I can do it if
My
I
wife
want
is-
to.
But my wife is already gone.
No, not to you. It was more so I thought you would be proud of me making a joke like this to this man over here.
I'm gonna fucking
Oh, I
die.
thought you were talking that to Malral.
No, she
I-
was saying it to Malral while she was saying it to the guy. She was basically nudging him in the stomach, being
Shoulder.
like, "Look at this pun I've got."
I got
Oh,
one.
okay.
Yeah.
That makes a bit more sense. I was so confused.
That Malral doesn't get a joke from
Yeah.
another person.
Yeah. My wife is dead, Ilya. It was very traumatic.
Guys, please stop working these puns to the bone. I'm gonna.
You did it too!
Oh, no, not you too!
You guys ain't so
Sorry.
bad. I can make a Karnath out of you eventually.
What can we
My
say?
God.
We got all these puns rattling around in our...
Page at my funeral. Don't let him speak.
It's your funeral.
Grabs Paige's arm. We're the only ones left. We have to stick together.
Silodia
Really
is just very uncomfortable. But yeah, he will eventually shamble up to what appears to be, it's probably about a 3-story building. With, once again, it's got these long lists of names written on it, and above the door it says Karnath, the Eternal Veterans Association, and the names all appear to be various soldiers. You can tell from the ranks put onto them, and you do see that there is a skeleton who's currently adding another name onto it as you approach, and he waves at Breckenridge. Don't mind that guy, he is perfectly fine as long as you don't have a bone to pick with him. And then he gives Breckenridge the finger.
Oh my god.
So, Malral, have you told this man who it is we're looking for?
Above game, I forgot to write their names down in my notes.
Disgusting. You are looking for the names of the ladies Lever is Kalina and Esmeralda.
Can you put that in chat?
Okay.
Just so I don't spell their names wrong, as I put them on my notes finally.
Now I have to make sure I'm spelling them correctly.
Got him.
Got him. All right. Okay. So yeah, but their names are Kalina and Esmeralda, so you can say that at least.
Yes, we're looking for Kalina and Esmeralda.
Oh, you're looking for the head honchos. Well, why are you looking for them?
We met them at a party once, and now we hope for them to help us out on a bigger mission.
Huh. Well, I don't usually talk to the big ones, but I know a guy who happens to be running one of the security checkpoints over in the Noble District. If you want me to take you over there, maybe I could work some of my little, gallows humor, my little old tombstone charm, as he elbows Paige in Euphoria.
Smile grimaces.
You certainly do have a way with words.
Well, there's no reason to let the grave keep you down, It didn't work the first time, why would it work now?
The help you give would be appreciated.
Alright. You guys don't seem so bad. I'll take you over there.
Well, you've done so much to tickle our funny bones, we feel like we need to be...
The skeleton gives you the finger. And Breckenridge kind of goes, God, are you sure you're not Karnathi?
Once upon a time.
He'll shamble on over to what is the nicer / far more fortified portion of the city. And you guys get to, there are walls within walls in this city, and at this particular walled area between what is presumably the city square and the Noble District, you see that there's a zombie as well as like some kind of spirit floating next to him, a shadowy spirit. And the zombie kind of looks up at a lot of you as he, kind of hoists up a greatsword onto his shoulder. And what's this, Breckenridge? They say they know the commanders. They wanna talk to them. Some business stuff. The zombie looks at the rest of you. This true?
It is. We have to be quite prompt in our meeting, so I hate to cut the pleasantry short, but you understand.
Well, there's no rushing regulations. As he kind of rubs his chin where there's a scraggly, remains of a beard. And as he's rubbing his chin, his, trigger finger just falls off.
Tell him it's, Malral and friends. We know each other from, the airship incident. They'll understand.
It is a matter of national security as well.
It is very urgent.
Here, I think you dropped a little something.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to say, oh, gosh.
Oh, thank you. As he takes the finger out of your hand and puts it back against the socket. And he kind of jams it in there. It was a whiff to get my sister to sew this back in tonight.
Takes out a hanky and rubs her hands.
Casts mending on his hand because it's considered an object.
Oh, much appreciated, much appreciated. All right, I'll go talk to the commanders. Helen, how about you go do it? I think that I might be a bit slower than these outsiders might be comfortable with. And the shadow kind of turns to look at him and goes, of course, I'd be happy to. If you need anything. And he goes, I know what to do. As he hoists the greatsword back against the ground, and it makes an incredibly heavy thud against the ground. And he just settles into place. You see a little cockroach comes skittering out of his ear and darts down his neck as he's just staring at you guys as the shadow floats away through the wall.
Paige's eyes widen, they start dilating. See something move.
Paige, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Actually... This isn't contagious, right? His jokes?
Oh, only if he bites you.
Oh, goodness.
But if you've seen a ghost, have you been talking to Serena? She's a good fellow.
Guys seem really content here.
Well, it's a bit too peaceful for me, but you know, when you're able to defeat every other kingdom in the continent, I guess peace is what you deserve.
Shouldn't have to be fighting all the time.
He kind of slowly nods, and as he's nodding, you hear a cracking sensation as the flesh on his neck seems to decay off, and he grabs his head with his other hand that's not holding the greatsword. Bloody unfortunate.
Leans in next to Paige and whispers in her ear, "Don't like they have much else to live for."
Just droop down. Like she's trying to hide them from hearing her.
The more I stay here, the more I realize how antithetical as this is to the Feywild.
Well,
Quite strange.
I don't know anything about Fae.
Darling, you're looking at one.
Oh, I just thought you were cold.
Bit of that too, but comes with a part of the package deal.
Oh, if you need a coat, there's lots of good places around town.
No need for a coat. Perfectly comfortable in sub-degree weather.
I'll get a little stiff myself.
I'd be worried that you'd fall right apart if you were kept in the cold for too long.
Leah, no. Leah.
It would be an emotional experience, but I think I could keep myself together. As he says this, some of his hair pulls out of his scalp and he loses grip on his head and he has to grab it like closer to the ground.
The player had to really resist making a stiff joke there, so
We're all infected. We're all infected.
Yeah.
It wasn't the morning sickness. It was puns.
Yeah. And as you guys are chatting with him, eventually Helen returns back through the wall and says, the commanders have given authorization for these visitors under Malral to go see them. Staff Sergeant, are you going to be their escort? I guess I can take them there. Make sure they don't get up to any mischief. And he kind of does a little, like, boxing gesture with his massive fists against, like, Sess's tummy.
That's not where my funny bone is. She looks at him with, like, the deadest stare.
I guess I'd have to talk to a necromancer then to truly find it.
He's just doing a bit of knuckle cracking.
Whenever I try to do that, they just fall off. Sorry about that, buddy.
that's rough, buddy.
Have you tried tying yourself together with string?
Oh, it limits my movements too much. That's why I just have my sister stitch together any part that falls off up until I need it to be put back on again. I assure you, though, I'm tip-top fighting shape. The arm that was holding his head proceeds to fall off of him. Bloody hell. And as Breckenridge leads you through the gate, he, lets go of his sword so he can reach down and grab his arm and head.
His other arm falls off.
I know what you're all thinking. I know, these fucking Karnathi are weird as shit. But, you guys are the weird ones here. We're just trying to have a good time.
You do seem to be quite happy, but I suppose more of the concerns that I would say as an outsider would be it's more the knife to working and to fighting.
Oh, I do other stuff. When I'm on leave, I go see my wife and kids. My kids just got into the academy. Do you want to see pictures of my kids?
Yes, I would love that, actually.
Yeah, let's see your pictures.
You see that there are 3 boys and 2 girls. They're all appear to be human, and they're each wearing little military uniforms, like little cadet uniforms. And you see, attractive middle-aged human woman standing behind them in very plain gray dress, and then you see Breckenridge with one of his massive claws around her shoulder, like doing the biggest smile.
How old are they?
The oldest just turned 12.
That is quite a full house he got there.
Well, back when things were circulating a bit better, I was quite fond of my wife.
Well,
I
they're
think I
just
know what you
darling.
mean.
Oh, now she can entertain herself while you're away at work.
He goes, don't get me wrong, we've made do.
And she can always have a piece of you with her at all times.
This guy got the jokes.
You need them whenever you stare death in the face every day.
I just call it Tuesday.
Probably why you have so many.
Meta. Well, I'm hoping that they, once they get into the academy, one day they're going to be good soldiers too, and be able to, give them their first salute. Gosh, by the blood, that'd make this man pretty proud. I'm sorry. I get talking about my kids and everything, and if I could, it'd bring a tear to my eye. Any of you got kids?
Yeah. I got a couple of girls myself. They're grown now, but
I imagine they're stunners looking at you.
haha, they did take after their mama, so thank goodness.
Breaking hearts.
Hopefully not too many.
It'll come. You look to be a woman who's up to some mischief, and I think that's probably genetic.
Oh. Well, you've got a keen eye in that respect. Maybe your wife better watch out. Who knows?
I'm sure that, if you ever want to get a more personalized tour, if I was 20 years younger and 8 years less dead. Kind of just smiles and puts the pictures of his family away as he keeps shuffling you over to...
Had one. Found another.
Sorry, what'd you say, Litra?
Had one. Found another.
Yeah. Kind of gives Malral a pat on the shoulder and goes, man, trust me, man, that's something we are all too familiar with around here.
So you two are hitting it off, then? You and Cryotrixia?
What do you mean by that? He gives a very confused look.
You said you found another one. I assume you mean Cleo.
Yes, she's a very sweet girl.
I'm sorry, maybe a miscommunication. It's nothing.
Just looks confused at...
I assume if you think of Cleotrixia as your daughter, that you would be doing well with dear Cryotrixia herself, but if I'm wrong about that, then it's my apologies for assuming.
Oh.
Yeah, no wonder I had to drag you out of that house.
No.
So it is going to go along well. That's exciting.
No, that's not. No.
Good.
He's a good catch.
Very good
That's
catch.
not the... No, I'm ready to change the subject.
That's convenient. We just got to their manor. And, you see all of these noble buildings, despite being nicer than the stuff outside, they all look exactly the same. They're all designed with the same, brutalist, defensible aesthetic. And you do see that there is just a big set of double doors. Breckenridge goes to knock on them, and a face appears through the door, covered in what appears to be a flowing Karnathi uniform as he looks over at all of you through the door and goes, "Oh, welcome, welcome. The commanders are expecting you. Please." And you see the doors just open around him as he is floating there. He appears to be a wraith.
It is our pleasure to be here in the company of such esteemed women. Please, lead the way.
He looks at Breckenridge and goes, "You can stand guard out front, Staff Sergeant, until they're dismissed." All right. I'll just be sitting out here, minding my own business, being a goddamn comic genius.
You should quit your day job and go into comedy.
I would, but it's called desertion.
Now
Well,
you
then be
guys
sure to
are
break
out
the
here.
Yeah, and as you guys get let in, you see lots of just weapons are everywhere on the walls. And there's lots of paintings of, what appears to be what you guys remember the Ladies Lever look like, but more grand paintings of them in their uniforms and stuff. Together, there's pictures from their wedding. There's pictures of them with other soldiers. There's pictures of them when they were alive, and you see how cute they were when they were still breathing. And then you see just lots of pictures of them just up to stupid shit. If you've ever seen just like military people with other military people's like Facebooks, there's a lot of pictures like that of them up to hijinks and holding drinks and doing shenanigans and shooting crossbows and stuff.
Posing for these must have been really hard while the painter took forever.
Oh, most of those were captured with magecraft.
Oh, magic makes everything easier. Why is she pretending to eat a grenade in that one?
Oh, Lady Esmeralda had a particular penchant for tests of bravery, and so she apparently had wagered that she could hold the live explosive longer than her lieutenant.
In her mouth?
Oh, sorry. Malral.
In her mouth?
Yes, she thought it would add to the dick measuring contest, is I believe how she put it.
So this is the life of an army soldier.
I don't know about that. When I was a field medic, if I saw any of my men do that, I would have slapped them across the back of the head.
You see a picture, and it's Lady Khalida slapping Esmeralda across the back of the head.
Like that.
As the grenade falls out of her mouth.
Oh
Later,
my
you
God.
see part of Lady Esmeralda getting healed by Lady Khalida.
Yep, that seems more about right.
And yeah, you guys get to a kind of relaxation lounge room where you hear, there's a kind of prestigiplayer doing some music broadcasts in the room of just some classical notes as you see a ghost gesturing with his spectral hands as about 100 what appears to be like child's hands float in the air, weaving stitches through a half patchwork skeleton Like the bottom half of her has skin, just of various colors and types of skin that's been sewn together. The top half of her is a skeleton, and the hands are just weaving more of the skin onto her as she looks at you all with these just glowing bale light green eyes as she waves one of her skeletal hands at you. And you see that there are at least 5 swords and crossbows like strewn about the room in easy reaching distance of anyone who would sit on anything.
It is a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance. I must apologize that we were not able to be properly introduced on as our previous encounter.
So, you lost a bet to me.
Well, first of all, we were able to stop them. Well, as in, you know, we at least killed some of them. Well, okay. I'll be honest. I don't really remember anything after the explosion, so it's unclear. But it is very likely that they died. So I think that this is definitely a draw. Sorry. Where are my manners to the rest of you? I'm Lady Kalina Lever. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I've been informed that you are all working with Malral over here.
Yes, that would be correct. We come to you with a matter of utmost importance, I'm afraid, related towards at least the previous incident in some way, shape, and form.
Oh, is this about the Goliath itself, or is it about the Ashbringers?
The Ashbringers, I'm afraid.
About them being dead. Apparently that doesn't stop them.
Well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Present company included. As she gestures to herself. I'll send a sending spell to get Esmeralda in here. She's been recovering in her bedroom for the last few weeks. She is less mobile when she's putting herself back together than I am. And she mutters some arcane words, and she then goes, "Oh, where are my manners?" And she says some more, and a Karnathi lieutenant appears to be a wood elf with, you know, elaborate facial tattoos and a headscarf on, comes in and comes out with several glasses of wine and offers them to each of you.
Gladly take.
I'll take as well.
Yeah. And she goes, "Yes, please, enjoy. And I assure you that is wine."
You know, it hadn't even crossed my mind that it could be something else, but perhaps I should have been a bit more doubting.
I trust that it is
considering.
wine. I trust that it is wine. I'm just scared that it will be lit on fire the moment I try and drink it.
What are the odds of that happening?
He lets out a little puff of fire from his mouth.
This is apparently
Fine.
very high-proof wine, as it immediately catches fire.
You should stop taking bets with me.
You apparently are more clever than you put on. For a Siren, at least.
Should we wait for your partner first before?
Oh, and you hear a kind of a loud bang as doors on the other side of the room slam open, and you see what appears to be just absolutely an incredibly just worn out, hungover, half orc, half dwarf vampire woman walk in wearing a loose robe of red and gold, and her hair is all disheveled and her braids are half undone and stuff as she walks in and kind of squints her red eyes at all of you and looks up at Kalina and goes, "You could have mentioned that we had actual company. I would have put on actual clothes." Well,
Not
I
a morning
assumed
person,
that-
Esmeralda.
And she kind of gestures at you. Fuck it. She comes very much pulling herself into the room as she flops down onto one of the couches. All right. And she gestures for the lieutenant to come over. And the lieutenant puts down her tray and goes over to Esmeralda and kind of just lays across her as Esmeralda, bites into her neck. Well, I gotta go. Let's start talking.
Quite all right.
Paige is quietly writing something in her journal.
God damn it.
For science.
For
Yeah.
science.
Science.
Yes. It's all for silence.
I'll let my companions explain why we're here. They can do it better than me.
The short of it is that we need to go into the Mournlands, specifically to the place known as Seven Spears. And we're hoping that somebody that was there themselves be able to accompany us so that way we could, well, stop the Ashbringers from doing it is what you do so well. Sylvana, would you mind if there's any other details that they might need to know?
Yes, the Ashbringers, we believe, have come into possession of a horrible weapon that could endanger tens of thousands of lives. And the only way we can stop them is if we can get to Seven Spears. You hear Esmeralda go, "Where are we going to Seven Spears?" As blood kind of starts, puddling off of the lieutenant's neck as she's talking while draining her. What my wife is trying to say is, what does Seven Spears have to do with that?
Ilya will look back at Sylvana and just kind of be like, and with a trusting nod, basically says, "You know better than any of us how much to say."
We believe that there is an old Syrian weapons facility in the Mournlands, and the only way we can get to it is if we get something of spiritual resonance with the Ashbringers. And so the only place that we know that might exist is Seven Spears. And if we can get to this facility, we might be able to stop them once and for all. Sorry, I can't really say much else. That's essentially the situation. Kalina kind of turns to look at Esmeralda. And she's a skeleton, so she has no facial expressions, before turning back to look at you guys. And goes, "You all are very serious that you actually think you can stop them."
Someone has to try.
As your wife eloquently put it, fuck it.
You hear fucking Esmeralda start laughing and just blood splatters everywhere on her and the lieutenant.
Okay.
Oh goodness.
And
Is it going to be all right?
And she unsinks her teeth and she just runs her tongue over the lieutenant's neck where she bit and goes, "Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. I didn't expect something so funny while I was recuperating. Lieutenant, you're dismissed." And she slaps the lieutenant on the ass.
I'm a comedy genius.
Paige writing faster.
If you guys actually think you can fucking do something about him, fuck it, we're in. We never actually got to square up with the marshal and back in the war. It was really our biggest regret, wasn't it, honey? And she goes, "Yeah, we had always wanted to meet up with the Lightbringers and obviously kick their ass. They were deemed to be so unbeatable and so great, but unfortunately, betrayal got to them before we ever could."
From what you said, you were able to at least end the current lives that they had going, at least a few of them, during the incident with the Goliath, so I think I speak for the entirety of our party here and say any assistance that you could give to us in this endeavor would be greatly appreciated.
Esmeralda will stand up off the couch, still covered in blood on her robes, and she'll go over to Kalina, and she's much shorter than Kalina, and she just kind of wraps an arm around the half flesh, half skeletal waist as she's being stitched back up, and just kind of leans her head against the skeleton's ribcage. And Kalina goes, "We did our best, but they were clearly not entirely focused on eliminating us. They apparently had other objectives. I'm not so sure we would do quite as well given a rematch. Just the two of us, of course."
The 8 of us sounds a bit better, I would say.
Well, we know what the Marshal and his ilk have been up to since Seven Spears, and I don't know what the fuck snapped in him, but whatever it was, maybe it was always there. Yeah, maybe he was just a fucked up dude all along, but there's no reason for him to go killing civilians so wantonly like he did. That's fucking, that ain't how we play, man. We're fucking soldiers. We fight in the fields. Establish who's better, who's got the bigger cock. That's how we roll. Not that I was fucking killing civvies.
Without Captain Marin, they lost themselves.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm also worried about one of the missing members that was not on the ship last we saw them. I believe it was the scout captain.
No, she was there. It was the Shade. It
Oh.
was Shade.
It was Shade.
Mhm.
The changeling known as Shade. They may have been there, but they didn't line up with the rest.
Yeah, that was weird as fuck. I gotta say, they usually would roll up all together, Teamwork makes the dream work, I guess, but, yes, man. I guess we can't truly understand the minds of terrorists.
As well as the reason why they can keep coming back. Well, one of them is nicknamed the Revenant, so I'm just going to leave that up in the air.
The two of them shrug. Well, if you need somebody who's connected to Seven Spears, I gotta say, are you all aware that would be going into the Mournlands? Have you ever been in there?
Yes.
Yes, unfortunately. Alright, well, if you at least know what you're getting yourselves into.
I won't lie and sugarcoat this. The rest of us have not. Any assistance or advice that you might have would be greatly appreciated.
Oh, don't look at us. We've never been in the Mournlands. We never had a reason to. The war was over at that point. Yeah, I just hear that place is fucked up and full of crazy people.
Who wouldn't turn crazy after that?
They both kind of nod. Yeah, checks out. But yeah, God, there is that one guy, in the association, usually hangs out pretty bored in the hall. He could probably be somebody. We could give you at least a rec and tell him to get off his lazy undead ass to go take you in there. He'd probably be down for it just because it's bored him alone. He fought there with the coalition forces. Yeah, we weren't asked to be a part of that because we actually have honor and integrity. But he was real rank and file back then, so I wouldn't hold it against him. But it's still fucked what the coalition did to the Lightbringers. But they're horrible people, so I guess who the fuck cares anymore?
I would say yes, please, and happy to meet him and accept his assistance.
All right, I will. And the skeleton kind of snaps her fingers, and a piece of magical paper appears in front of her, and you just see words start appearing on it, and just basically saying, "Hey, Master Sergeant Geller, how about you get off your lazy ass and take these people with 7 spears? They say it's really fucking important." XOXO. Commanders Khalida and Esmeralda Lever. And then the paper floats right into Malral's hands.
Catches it.
Yes, if this works and you guys do come back, if you ever need us for, when the time comes, I know we'll be down. We haven't, honestly, the Goliath was the last time we'd been in a proper fight since the war was over. Yeah, I was beginning to think I was getting kind of rusty, The moment I stop being able to fight, this one will get a wandering eye. As she, taps Khalida's ribcage and then gives her a kiss on the cheek.
If not rusty, maybe a little stiff.
Oh yeah, you're the fucking Joker. I bet you and that Breckenridge get along well. That guy is such an asshole.
Oh, yes. Haven't had a word to ourselves since the two of them met.
I don't know what you mean. The rest of you have been spouting puns as well.
It's a fucking plague.
I just want it to be over.
No, that's what you have.
Please. Just let it be over.
If you want, I can put you out of your misery. As she, has her big bloody fangs looking at you, giving you a big smile.
You got something stuck in your teeth.
Oh, sorry, that's the lieutenant. And she, puts a fingernail up, takes out a piece of skin.
It's alright. At least you don't have to worry about lipstick.
Well, looks back at everybody else. I suppose we have our persons then.
Sorry, Seth, you keep blinking. Are you talking or?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay, there.
That might be my mic picking up residual noise down
Gotcha.
the hall. I'll mute for now.
Yeah. What were you saying, Ilya?
I was just saying, it's just we have our man, so
Yeah.
find him and get on with the job.
All right, if you need any supplies or anything, the association can provide you with, food, camping gear, whatever. And, tell Geller that he should be on his best behavior.
I take it you would give him a whole bunch of shit if he was not.
Even for the dead, there are still ways that you can make somebody's unlife miserable.
I aim to not ever know the pleasure.
Oh, it's not so bad, you know. I could give plenty of pleasure, even in my unlife state. As she winks.
Oh, darling, but you do realize that when you can live forever, even without death, it kind of is a bit of a moot point.
And she shrugs and goes, you know, we came to our agreement about 50 years ago, and you know, we thought, fuck it, you know, why only give one life for your country, you know, and besides, what's the point of only having one lifetime to love someone? And she grabs Lita's waist and pulls her closer.
Soft but sad smile from Ilya.
That could be you if you were brave enough. That's the player speaking, sorry.
Yeah, so do you have any other questions for the ladies Lever?
I don't
think so.
Okay. Well, you know where the association hall is. Breckenridge can lead you there. Before you go, you know, Felina and Esmeralda will go. Yeah, and if you ever find yourselves back here in less apocalyptic scenarios, you know, be sure to let us know. We can show you one hell of a night on the town. And it has to be at night, just to be fucking clear.
I think we'll have to do that. This place is rather growing on me.
As we've seen, Esmeralda, you are definitely not a morning person.
But I happen to be one hell of a nightlife. And with that, they will wave you guys off as the Wraith will guide you back through the doors, and Breckenridge will, kind of perk up as you guys leave. Well, I'm happy to hear you guys are done, so, you know, back to the train station or where you're off to.
Holds out the letter.
Yeah, you guys gotta go talk to good old Marcus. He's not so bad. Yeah, but, he mostly is hanging out at the association. Bored out of his mind, just playing cards with the others. You know, if you don't have any real hobbies, you know, your last tour of duty can be real tedious.
And so for that, he's willing to do something potentially dangerous just because he's bored?
Wouldn't be the first time.
Alright, easy enough.
Yeah. That's the thing about a warrior ethos, as he kind of nudges against Euphoria. You know, you always gotta have your mind on the next battle, ready to prove your mettle.
Ah, I see. I quite agree myself. No point in living slow.
Did you serve?
Well, not in the official capacity, no.
We got ourselves a little spook lady, eh?
More of a, how would you politely put it? A sellsword.
Mercs. The Mercs ain't bad, you know. No real national pride. You know, I can never really understand why somebody would just fight for money when you got a country that you should be, you know, trying to defend. But, you know, to each their own. You know, you guys serve well enough, you know, which other side, you know, decide to pay you.
Well, money has its own reward.
And he puts one of his claws on your hand and goes, you know, I'm gonna dispel a particular notion you may have, but I can tell you, as one of the previously living, you can in fact take it with you.
Well, that's a relief. Means I haven't fought all this time for nothing.
And he'll continue shambling, take you guys back to the association hall. And as he opens the doors, you see there's probably about, you know, maybe 24 various undead people, you know, kind of milling about, doing doing various just board games and writing, doing some art, and literally just staring at the ceiling. There appears to be a garden and like little sets of trees out back. You see some of them just kind of reclining back there in the sun as bugs start to crawl on them, and some of them in them. You see some puppies that some of them are playing with that have a little service dog written on the side of them. And behind the counter of what appears to be a bar inside the hall is a ghost woman, and there is a sign that says Serena.
Malral waves.
She waves spectrally at you.
You know, I'm surprised that this place doesn't have a higher population, considering how many people seem to spend their eternity in service.
Well, maybe it's not something everyone wants.
It's a small underworld after all.
Breckenridge goes, most people don't get the opportunity for their last tour. You know, most people end up just, when they die, and then they come back as, one of the just animated skeletons or zombies that fought during the war, or the risen soldiers. But, not everybody has, the percentages of fate that brings them back as one of the charmingly previously living like myself. Most of them, it's not a choice. They just happen to come back on the battlefield in one way or another. That's what happened to me. I got hit by a Thranic fucking arrow barrage, and I woke up the next day at a pile of corpses. And I happen to be one of them.
So, pardon my ignorance, and I hope this isn't an offensive inquiry, but so no one gets to choose what they come back as? So, seems there's all sorts of colorful forms and shapes for people to take, but it seems quite a variety. Do you get to choose, or is it just random?
Some people decided to do it willingly. They got to choose, usually by getting one of the others to transition them to their last tour. But that's like the commanders. They chose to go down their path of going through a vampire and lichdom. But they were followers of the blood of Vol from day one, so they were already down that path of ascension. Not everybody is so enthusiastic. Most of us, we just happen to be living our lives until we weren't.
I see.
Not everybody gets as lucky. Gets to look as handsome as I do in their own life. And he goes, "Hey, Serena, is Marcus around here somewhere?" And she kind of points over at a table where you see a guy playing solitaire. And he is like 75% just slouched in his chair. Like, this is a man who's on the brink of sinking to the ground itself. And he appears to be a wight.
Well, that looks like our man.
Okay, you go. I was just gonna say, excuse me, Marcus.
I believe flipping cards.
I believe that there's something that you can help us with. Something requested, and gestures to Malral to put the document down. Requested by the ladies Laver.
Hell of a lot better than that solitaire game you're currently losing.
He stops mid-card, putting down, and looks up at you. He's got these, just very yellow bloodshot eyes that are kind of, they're kind of glossy with cataracts and stuff. As he looks up, there he goes. Did you say the lady's the bear?
That's right.
Malral comes over and hands him the letter, meanwhile looking down at his solitaire game.
Oh, your 12 of Dragon Tales is in the wrong spot.
Fucking I. Throws down the card and just throws a bunch of, just kind of ruffles them about very pettily. Alright, let me look at this. He looks at the letter and goes, "The fucking commandos thinking they could be an old glib with me. Oh, alright, what's your need?"
We need to go into the Mournlands.
You sure you won't go in there? It ain't as charming as the exterior makes it look like.
I don't think anyone would go there on a passing fancy.
Kinda goes, fair enough.
You thought it'd be fun. Go there, visit, the old home, see, maybe if any family still existed there.
Well, I hate to tell you, Siren boy, but there ain't nothing living there that you won't be seeing. But if you need somebody to take you in, I can do it.
It would be appreciated.
Gives you a big smile of sharpened, rotting teeth.
Well, do you know the way to Seven Spears?
Oh, I happen to know Seven Spears right proper. That's where I died.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate for you, but very convenient for us.
Yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't have sent you my way otherwise. Good news is, you don't really have to know how to get there. You just have to know how to get there, if you catch my drift.
I'm not picking up what you're putting down, to use a similar phrase.
Well, I've only been in the Mournlands, probably about a handful of times since it all went to shit. No offense, Siren Man, but you feel places there. If you don't feel a given place, you're just gonna wind up getting lost or never coming back out again.
I take it you feel Seven Spears strongest out of any of the Mournlands.
I have a very intimate relationship with that place, you could say. As he pulls his tunic aside, and you see that there's just a big battle axe wound across his torso. But right, Ryum, when you want to go? I'm busy with my game, but I guess I could put it aside momentarily.
He flipped the table on.
Yep.
Yes, we hate to disturb you when you are clearly so occupied, but I believe, unless there's something else that needs doing.
All right. He taps the table as he stands up, and he whistles over to Serena, and you see what appears to be a pair of swords, a longbow and quiver comes floating out from behind the bar, and flies into his arms as she gestures it over to him. And he grabs them and goes, "Oh, thank you, love. I was happy to say the service here, Serena, is certainly the finest in all the city." And she smiles. All right.
Any words of wisdom for taking on the Mournlands?
Stick together and just beware everything there does in fact want to kill you.
It means the first time that we go into a place like that.
I'm sure that you won't be there long enough to get any lasting repercussions, so I'm sure it should be alright.
quick in and out adventure.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, well, follow me. We'll take a coach out the city, get us to the wall, and then we'll go through the wall together. It's going to be certainly experience for the lot of you.
Will we need anything, like, we'll need any prep supplies to get before we're going in there? Or...
I don't know, what do you need? I happen to not be very lively these days, so my supplies that I require for daily life are fairly limited.
Well, I mean, as what's the term? That isn't offensive. As a person whose skin is not falling off their bone, do we need to wear anything or have anything casted on us before we go in there?
Oh no, and I don't think it would do anything anyway. That place is, from what I understand from my more magically attuned individuals, is that it's kind of a hellscape in there, and as if Arcana has just gone wild. You'll see living spells running around, you'll see ungodly abominations, so I think any kind of attempt to try and protect yourself wouldn't do much.
That's reassuring. Okay.
Oh, don't
So
worry, love.
literally everything will try to kill you.
Don't worry, love. There's one thing there that won't be trying to kill you.
Which is?
He puts one of his arms around your shoulders and leads into you and winks and goes, "May."
Wonderful to know. Thank you.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure your lot will be fine. You look right proper capable.
No choice, really. You have to do this, so.
Stick together, everyone.
It's a good thing you finally decided to get some items, huh, sis?
Felt it was necessary.
All right.
Yep, you guys can get yourself a coach to get you to the Mourn Wall. He gets a coach that he is going to be driving with skeletal horses, because normal horses get very unsettled when they get near the Mourn Wall, for obvious reasons. And he goes, "Alright, just heads up, if it's your first time seeing this, just be aware it has a way of messing with your head. You should be alright as long as you don't go, losing yourself, but just thought I'd give you a little bit of a warning."
I suppose, and she'll look over to the cats. You two know better than us. What
Yeah,
exactly
we're basically
are we looking
pros
at?
now.
20, you know.
Did get it at 20. I'm kind of a big deal.
Yeah, if you want to give him any advice, like, you should stare into the eyes. That'll make it last quick. It'll make it go by faster.
I feel like you should have your eyes closed as much as possible when going through the wall.
Well, how are you gonna see where you're going?
Sounds like it doesn't matter if we can see where we're going. It's more of the feeling. Isn't that right, Marcus?
Right. Well, once we get into the place itself, yeah, I'll be able to guide you along, but, it's certainly got quite a view. If you happen to like desolate hellscapes of madness and death, but, it's got a charm of its own.
Rat, when do we start?
As he will drive the coach to the edges of the Mourn Wall itself, you guys all hear it near deafeningly loud, the cries and moans and screams of perhaps millions of lives that were abruptly lost. And you all have that same experience as you look at it, seeing the faces pop in and out. And they all seem to be reaching out for you guys.
Oh boy.
Hands, everyone. And Illy will reach out to kind of hold each other's hands.
Oh, I'm glad you suggested that. I was just about ready to say that. It's kind of key to make sure that y'all don't get lost as we transition through. So, hope you all like each other and hold tight.
Rat grabs Ilya's hand. here we go.
Agent says, starts snickering.
Don't be shy.
And as everybody holds hands, you, Marcus will take the first steps towards the wall and then start to enter the mist. Do you all follow behind with your hands held together?
Yeah.
All right.
Like a bunch of cuties, yes.
Yeah, like
Yes,
a bunch
we all
of
go in
cuties.
together.
Let's go to hell together.
Ladies first.
Super hell time.
Yep. And as you guys enter through the mist, you feel just thousands of hands grabbing at you, pulling at you, like at your very spirit and being. And you get like just rushes of experiences of just fields of bodies and rolling fireballs and unspeakable creatures tearing people apart. And it feels overwhelming, and it's very akin to when the Raven Queen was touching you, but more uncontrolled. And then when it feels like it can't get any worse, you finally pass through, and you feel the sensation die away, as well as the sounds of the Mourn Wall itself disappear. And you stand looking at a field of bones as far as the eye can see. And the sky is a prismatic, ever-changing landscape of lights and colors, and fractals of energy appearing and disappearing that Paige immediately recognizes as the same kind of vibe as Silonia's glitching. And you see in the distance probably a 40-foot tall creature made of metal looking amidst a field of bodies, extending out these massive claws like syringes into them and holding up corpse after corpse on its fingers before picking one or two and impaling them on spikes on its carapace as it continues looking through the field. And you see a pack of what appear to be skinless, eyeless wolves running along and howling in this very human sounding scream as a ball of what appears to be living lightning zooming around after them before descending onto one of the wolves and electrocuting it and frying it as it's seemingly tearing it apart. And Marcus looks at you guys and goes, "Welcome to Seer, loves."
Oh.
Do a quick check-in. Is everybody here? Everybody doing all right?
Everybody is through.
Quick look at Silonia.
She is wide-eyed at everything. And she just looks shocked. Is probably the best way to describe it.
I don't know what I was expecting, but this is, yeah, not nightmarish is a good word.
It's been so long since I've seen it. And Silonia just kind of puts one of her gauntlets over her mouth. Well, I'm sure you all enjoy how scenically beautiful our fair Seer is, but I think we best be proceeding along before any of the locals get a little too interested in us new arrivals.
Right. We
We'll
didn't
just
come here to
take-
gawk at the scenery. We'll keep moving.
We just needed a moment to take in the homecoming. He says that, looking over at Salonia.
Yeah, very much shrinks within herself.
Well, let's keep moving then.
All right. And as you move deeper into the Mournlands, towards the battle, the site of Seven Spears itself, we're going to end here for tonight. I hope everybody had fun.
Yay!
We went from joyful pun central to hellscape. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yup.
How it is in war, baby.
War's hell, ain't it? Thank you, everybody. I hope you all had fun. If you haven't done so already, go check out these wonderful players. They're all streamers in their own right and great beans. You should go support them, follow them, love them, as I do. And then you guys should go check out the charity link to the Tillify. Huge shout out to Scarth for that big 22222 or 22222 donation, as well as Brainbuster for the $5 donation. I really appreciate it. Every little bit counts. We are now at $734.12 of our goal towards Trans Lifeline. Thank you all so much. We'll be raising money throughout the entire month of June. So every one of my streams, feel free to throw those hard-earned gold pieces towards a good cause. If you haven't done so already, please give me a follow here on Twitch, give me a sub over on YouTube, a follow on Twitter, and you can join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my incredible community. We will be back here on Wednesday, where I'm going to be playing more Darkest Dungeon 2 again, because after it's released, it was actually kind of fun, and I kind of want to do it again. So come on by, I'll name people after you, watch them die and suffer, it'll be a great time. We are going to be raiding, I haven't raided her before, but she has raided me. We're going to be raiding Sister Mortis. She's one of them Pathfinder people. You know, I don't know that lot, but I respect their strange ways anyway.
I'm right here.
But she is playing the original Blood Rain right now, so it's sexy vampire time always on this stream.
From one sexy vampire to another sexy vampire.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nothing like big gay half dwarf half orc vampire. What the people wanted. If you're a follower, please copy down the call to hugs. If you're a knight, please copy down copy down the knight's message. And let's go send them some love. I hope you all have a wonderful night and the sweetest of dreams. Bye!
Bye.
Bye bye.